Yeah, girls basketball matchup between the visiting Cardinals.
So everyone was still sitting here.
And the Fairfield Ludlowe Falcons. And now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First for Greenwich, a freshman, number 31, Kelly Markoff. A freshman, number 11, Kristen Graves. A junior co-captain, number 3, Jordan Moses. A senior co-captain, number 10, Michelle Morganti. And a senior co-captain, number 35, Taylor Stamos. The head coach at Greenwich High School is Chris Hernandez. And now the starting lineup for Fairfield Ludlowe. A sophomore, number 10, Julia Kucher. A sophomore, number 11, Emma Torello. A sophomore, number 13, Anna Paulman. A senior co-captain, number 20, Paige O'Connell. And a senior co-captain, number 15, Bridget Paulman. The head coach at Fairfield Ludlowe High School is Sarah Kinsley. Tonight's officials are Mr. George Frascione and Mr. Hal Schwartz. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we'd ask that you please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
From the main gym on the campus of Fairfield Ludlowe High School, it's time for varsity girls basketball on the Falcons Sports Network tonight. It is your Fairfield Ludlowe Falcons and the Greenwich Cardinals. Fairfield Ludlowe coming in with a 5-2 record in the FCAC as well as overall. Greenwich coming in after a 4-12, 6-14 season last year with a 1-3 and 3-5 record. So things not going so well for the Cardinals in 2018/19, the season, but they're certainly looking up, and that is what we've heard from all these teams. Ian Blank with you on this Monday evening. Pleasure to have you with us as we bring you in for the first time in 2019. Happy New Year. Hope everybody had a nice, relaxing holiday break, and we are underway. Greenwich controlling the opening tip. Fairfield Ludlowe will get the opening possession. Arrow as the layup goes missed. Rebound inside also missed. Goes out and will stay with Greenwich. Here comes the inbound. Working on the far side, brings it in. Paulman guarding the center. That may not be the greatest matchup. She misses. Paulman drags the rebound. So Paulman holding her own on the first possession. They go home run pass. Butcher on the near side, and she'll reset. Juliette Butcher coming into this game ranked 14th in the state of Connecticut at the point guard position by Max Preps. 7 points and a steal versus Stanford. They swing it. Emma Torello on the near side now. She'll get it again. She's going to be one of the other guards. Owen Butcher to begin this game. Good passing so far. This is Paulman. She'll pump fake. Lost the ball on the drive and now called for a travel. So she gets called for a travel. And now they will go into a full court press immediately. Great idea so far for the Falcons. Cardinals will bring it up. In their road reds, Greenwich across the front, the Under Armour logo, and their numbers in white with black trim. And immediately a travel going to be called on the junior Jordan Moses. Ludlowe against Stanford. 27 rebounds, 7 assists, 10 steals, and a block. They shot 37% from the field goal. That's going to be key coming into tonight if they can hit those shots. Torello with a little bit of a forced shot. Layup missed inside, so 0 for 2 on the possession are the Falcons. Bridget Pullman had a career-high 26. She'll pull in the rebound. Torello far side. Here's Bridget Pullman. She goes cross-court, Butcher. They work it inside, pass intercepted. And they'll work the other end. Here come the Cardinals. Easy drive and layup no good inside by Taylor Stamos, but she'll get the putback. First points of the evening go to Greenwich. So Taylor Stamos will put it on the board. Shot missed on the other end. Falcons not doing so hot from field goal. Again, a team that only shot 37% in that previous game. But they are playing good defense. And now they'll turn it into offenses. Bridget Pullman, who had a career-high 26, misses the fast break layup, but they do get the rebound, and Butcher gets a chance to reset things. She started in every single one of the Falcons games. Since we left you, they won the Todd Berger tournament. Far side. And now they swing to the corner. This is Anna Pullman, drive baseline, off to her sister Bridget. Bridget coming off a 26-point game, as we said. Trying to stay alive in underneath the basket. No. Riggs, the freshman, gets it. Cross lane pass, no good. Torello with the rebound. And we've got a foul. 5:20 to play. Opening stanza, 2-0 Greenwich. The Cardinals certainly holding their own. Coached by Chris Hernandez. The Falcons by Sarah Kinsley in her 3rd season. And through 3 seasons, they have definitely seen much improvement. A team that was just a game shy of the FCAC playoffs last year certainly held their own with some of the best in the FCAC, and now comes out with one of the best records in the FCAC through 7 games. They're 5-2. We will see a foul on Michelle Briganti, as Butcher will get it underneath the hoop. She'll inbound. Bridget Pullman. Swing. Butcher, her first 3 of the game, no good. She had 7 against Stanford. And a rebound is pulled on the other end. Greenwich has been a force to be reckoned with so far. Butcher, it's a 3-on-2 break, but she will reset knowing that numbers were not headed their way. Torello far side. Here's Pullman. Baseline drive. Pass to O'Connell. O'Connell back to Torello. They have nice passing, in which case it ends for Butcher, and she's got the first basket of the game. That is a 3, and it's 3-2 Fairfield Ludlowe. Michelle Morganti, the senior, who picked up a foul just a few possessions ago. Guarded by Pullman, blew right by her. Down lane dish to Stamos is intercepted. And we're going to go the other way. 4:14 to play in the first. It's 3-2 Fairfield Ludlowe. 2 fouls on Greenwich, none on the Falcons. We know that was a problem in 2018. Fouling for Fairfield Ludlowe. They did get in a little bit of fouling trouble the 2 games that we were at. They won the Todd Berger tournament. Victories over St. Paul and Staples. 2 losses coming at Greenwich and Danbury. There's Torello, lets the 3 fly, no good. Tipped out, and Greenwich will get the ball, but Ludlowe will stay on defense in that zone. It is a very tight zone that they play and has seemed to really work on a lot of teams, just makes them nervous, and it's intercepted right there by Paulman. She's got it. First point since scoring 26 against Stanford, and Bridget Paulman makes it a 3-point lead. The inbound tipped. Greenwich will get it, running Stamos. Stamos seems to kind of run this team. That was actually Martinoff. But here comes Paulman on the other end. She is going to lose the ball. No foul is called. But it's actually going to be last touch by a Cardinal. That was what it was signaled by the referee. It'll be inbounded underneath the hoop by Butcher. And she will go off to Paulman. Paulman from top, Torello. Thought about it. Cross-court Butcher. They've had some dangerous cross-court passes, but they know they get a little more with a weakened Greenwich defense inside. Or I should say very young Greenwich defense, as that makes it 7-2. And immediately a foul's called. Foul's going to be on Juliet Butcher. 3:22 to play in this first. It's 7-2 Fairfield Ludlowe. And they go far side on the fast break. Morganti. She's one of the other seniors on this team, and to travel. Five and 2 Fairfield Ludlowe. When would you think about saying that when talking about this team? What a start they have had. Here's Torello. Inside, the pass was intercepted, or they at least got a hand to it. And we're going to see some substitutions. Fairfield Ludlowe has it, and they inbound immediately to Butcher. The number 14 point guard in Connecticut. They swing it. Here's Torello. Shillette. And she's 0 for 2 to begin this game from beyond the arc, but a rebound underneath also missed. And again, Fairfield Ludlowe abysmal from the field goal range. They haven't made it. They made 1 3. That was Butcher. They were 36% from 3 points in their previous game. There's Paulman, and immediately a 9-2 run. So a 2-0 start turns into 9-2 Fairfield Ludlowe, and this, well, has been that kind of night for Greenwich so far. They have just not been able to get a basket. Here's a baseline drive, reverse layup. She's blocked, and a foul on O'Connell. Paige O'Connell at the 5 position tonight, 9 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists against Brian McMahon. 8 steals was the big number that stood out about that night. She also recorded a block to go with it. 2:17 to play in the first. It's 9-2 Fairfield Ludlowe. A timeout will be called. Why don't we take one with him? First time out of this game, back in just a bit. It's 9-2 Fairfield Ludlowe.
Yes. Oh, hi. I suppose you're wondering what an A-list celebrity like me is doing in a place like this. You must know, I'm saving the world. Oh, hi, Beth. Yep, saving the world again. Did you know that 40% of all the food produced in the United States is thrown away? That means everything that went into that food, the pesticides, the water, the land, was all for nothing. Just look at this perfectly good food thrown in the trash. The pizza with extra Cheerios, these goldfish and Band-Aid tacos. And just look at this perfect trash burger. This pasta dog looks delicious.
You don't have to dumpster dive like Ed Begley Jr. to save the planet. Fight food waste by shopping smart and using what you buy before it gets trashed.
That's way better. Ooh.
We're back at Ludlowe. First shot is no good. And free throws. Card still trailing 9-2. Second free throw is good. It's 9-3. So Greenwich cuts it to 6. Here's Butcher from top. Torello. Corner for Paulman. Paulman inside for the other Paulman. Now backdoor dish to O'Connell. She's got it, and they've hit double digits. First down tonight, they get to 11. Good defense on the other end. But they're unable to keep it inbounds, so it'll be Greenwich ball inbounded by Jordan Moses, the junior. it's a Greenwich team that was very similar to the team we saw last year from Fairfield Ludlowe, a team that has some older players but definitely is very young. Here's Martinoff, the freshman inside. She loses it. Butcher unstoppable. She's wide open, and it's 13-3. So she's got 5 to begin this game and working dangerously to passing that point mark from Stanford. She's been known to shoot the 3. A very dangerous point guard because she can drive too, so she'll hit the 3, but on the next possession, she'll drive right in and hit the easy layup. 1:30 to play in the first. It's 13-3 Fairfield Ludlowe. And this outcome kind of as you would have expected, but obviously Greenwich still plenty of time to come back. A free throw and a 2-pointer is all for Greenwich scoring-wise. That pass was unable to be controlled by Martinoff. Here come the Falcons' other end. Butcher. She can't handle it. Now she's double-teamed, but right out of that double-team, here's Paulman for 3. No good. Rebound, O'Connell went up with it, and she's fouled. So 1:11, a whole bunch of ones on the clock. And the foul going to come on Kristen Riggs, the freshman. We'll see if they call it shooting. They will not. 3 fouls on the Cardinals, 2 on Fairfield Ludlowe. Trish Carey, her first touch of the game. Inbound to Paulman, Paulman to Butcher. Butcher drives near side. This is Torello. Torello baseline drive, cross lane pass, and it's going to go loose down low and picked up by the Cardinals. Cardinals driving far side, and it is Morganti. Morganti guarded by Torello. It's a very tough defense for Fairfield Ludlowe. They want to knock them out of this game on defense. They want to be able to put those points up on offense too, but Fairfield Ludlowe really wants to knock this Greenwich team out on defense, and you see that's working early, that full court press and that 2-3 zone, and now they've switched into a man-to-man. It's 13-3. They've only scored 3 points at the Cardinals, and here's a travel on Butcher. 44.1 to play in the first. It's 13-3. Fairfield Ludlowe up by 10. Here's the inbound. And it'll go to Morganti. Morganti driving right up center court behind the back. Some fancy dribbling. She'll pass away to Martinoff. Martinoff will try to air it inside, but she can't. Now Butcher again. She can't be contained. It's 15-3. She just had a big part of that double team at center court, and then she's flashing on the near side to get the 2. You just can't contain her. Even these big teams like Norwalk and Wilton haven't been able to. Here's Morganti, the senior. And it's picked off. Perfectly read by Torello, but it goes out of bounds. 4.1 to play. Greenwich will have a chance to get a buzzer beater here.
4 seconds.
No one's going to guard the inbounder. Moses will take it. 2 seconds. It's going to come off Martinoff, and she can't get it. So 1 basket is all Greenwich is going to make in this first quarter. It's 15-3. Fairfield Ludlowe on top, and it's a first quarter that really went well for the Falcons. We'll take a short break. Back in a bit here on the Falcon Sports Network.
We farm about 3,500 acres. There's pipelines everywhere. The contractor working on my property did not have the lines located before he began work, and it resulted on a strike on a natural gas pipeline. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it could have been much worse. Calling 811 or visiting clickbeforeyoudig.com in the U.S. only takes minutes to do, and it can save your life.
Many medicines used to treat colds and flu contain acetaminophen, a pain reliever and fever reducer found in hundreds of over-the-counter and prescription medicines. But taking too much or more than one medication containing acetaminophen per day can damage your liver. So always read the label and don't take acetaminophen if you drink 3 or more alcoholic drinks every day. To learn more, visit fda.gov/OTC pain info. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Food and Drug Administration.
All right, so the second quarter about to get underway here at Fairfield Ludlowe. It's 15-3, Falcons on top. Both teams wrapping up. Their huddles, and we are underway. Immediately, it's Butcher. She's got a 3 already. She's got another. It's 18-3, and she is heating up. A couple of 3s and a 2. She's got 8 already, surpassing her total from Stanford. A game that the Falcons definitely won, as the Cardinals get their second basket of the game. It's 18-5, and they'll force a turnover, so a little string of good luck there for the Cardinals. Hopefully they can use that in their favor. Here's Jordan Moses. Top of the key, here's Martinoff. Martinoff guarded by Carey. She'll go to Morganti. Morganti far side. On Torello, and it was poked free, but it's going to stay with the Cardinals. No shot clock in girls basketball, something that we really don't mention a ton. You don't see it a lot, but at the boys level, some teams have even taken to almost a protest sort of the shot clock. They have dribbled it out for almost the entire quarter. It happened at last year's FCAC basketball quarterfinals. There's a double dribble called on the inside. That's going to be on Beatrice Owens, it looks like, the sophomore. And it's an interesting tactic that some teams have used. They have dribbled down the entire clock and waited for one shot in an entire quarter, and it's totally legal, as Beecher brings it on the near side. She's guarded by one of the younger ones on this team, junior Jordan Moses. She's one of the older ones, the upperclassmen. Good mix of upperclassmen and freshmen in that starting lineup. Greenwich sent out. Carey, her pass to Paulman was sent out. We'll be back on Thursday evening when the Falcons take on Ridgefield. That's a big game for them. A game they lost last year in a sort of revenge tour that they have marked this year. They've beaten every team that they've lost to last year except for Norwalk. As Emma Torello gets the 3, it's 21-3, almost a football score. 21-5. Again, still almost a football score here. Torello with a steal, and on the other end, that is going to be free throws for the sophomore. She'll go shoot a pair at the line to try and make it 23-5.
Greenwich fouls at number 4, Kira Momley. That's her first.
4 fouls on the Cardinals. And 2 on the Falcons as Torello hits her first. It's 22-5. The Falcons certainly in a big hurry tonight to knock Greenwich out of this game. They almost had him at the end of the first, and by the halftime, this game could be very well close to over. Shot no good, but we're going to see a foul underneath, and who's it going to be on? It's going to be on Fairfield Ludlowe, so that's going to be their 3rd. 7 fouls so far. This is a very scrappy game, and you can tell that's the kind of defense the Falcons play. Paulman unable to get the foul. She knocked right into her. Butcher and Paulman playing give and go, and that is a textbook shot from from Anna Paulman. It's 24-5. 6-minute mark is here in the second quarter. They bring it up across midcourt, and it's Beatrice Owens. Got a screen, which took her off Torello for a second. That Falcon defense has been so relentless. Those screens are something you really need to utilize. Here's Butcher. She's got a couple of 3s already. There's a shot, no good. Rebound underneath, and it is Moses. Moses, the home run pass for Kristen Riggs. But it goes out of bounds, unable to control it. 5:28 to play in this second quarter. And it's Ira Bochi to inbound. Bochi checking in recently. She'll inbound to Butcher. And here comes the inbound. In the game last year against Greenwich, Fairfield Ludlowe won it 58-40. It was really not even close. it started a 7-game win streak for Fairfield Ludlowe as Carey knew she was going nowhere with that pass and able to get a jump ball out of it. So Ludlowe going to use their possession arrow to their advantage. Actually, Greenwich is going to get it, as they did rotate at the end of the first quarter. They want to go far. It's the over-the-head pass and a foul. Wow. Very interesting call as the senior captain, Irabochi, gets called on the foul. That's the Falcons' 4th. It's Bochi's 1st. Cardinals will inbound. They've had a tough time doing that all day, and they do again. As Torello gets it. She had 3 steals against Staples in the championship game of the Todd Berger tournament a week or 2 ago. Steals do count when you steal it off an inbound. Interesting how they play Taylor Stamos up top. They don't really do that a lot with Paige O'Connell on the opposite end. Her center counterpart. They use Stamos almost as an all-around player instead of just a center. And when you have a player that kind of size that can shoot the way she can, it's not a terrible idea. Very good idea by Greenwich head coach Chris Hernandez. Brought up top by Butcher. She wants to go down low. She will. Now she brings it back out. And her inside pass to O'Connell is tipped out. Ludlow's got Ridgefield at home, followed by Trumbull, Bassick, and Trinity Catholic. So they've got a big test coming up at the beginning of next week at Trumbull. We'll be here for the boys and Trumbull. Should be an excellent game. And then you got Bassick and Trinity Catholic, 2 really good teams as well. So their schedule starts to get a little harder. They'll take on Sacred Heart Academy after that, New Canaan, Central, Darien, St. Joe's, West Hill, Staples, and they'll finish out with Fairfield Ward. And don't be surprised if that game ends up being the game it was last year, in which the Falcons need a win to get to the playoffs. 24-5, that's been our score for a while, as a lot of defense taking it over. Butcher wants an assist. This is Paulman trying to give her one. Instead, they reset. And Laura Herron getting her first touch of the game. Inside, Anna Paulman back to Herron. Younger group starting to take over as we see 3 sophomores again. Herron will replace Torello. 3 sophomores and 2 seniors. Good amount of upper and lower class. And underclassmen, I should say. 4 minutes to play in this second quarter. She'll spot up and shoot, and finally we get some baskets. 26-5 as Bridget Paulman gets some baskets. It's 5-4 in terms of fouling. Ludlowe with 5 fouls. Here's Herron for 3. In and out. Rebound underneath goes to the Cardinals. Inside. Some new faces for the Cardinals as well, and we are going to see a foul. Looked like he may have signaled a travel in a second. But we'll see a shooter at the line. That's going to be Michelle Morganti. We've seen her a little bit. She is the senior. Her and Taylor Stamos really dominating this team and leading this team almost in a way that the 3 seniors on Fairfield Ludlowe do. We'll take a short break. Back in just a bit. It's 26-5 here on the Falcon Sports Network.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Back inside Fairfield Ludlowe, it is 26-5, 3:32 to play in the second quarter. 6 fouls on Ludlowe, 4 on Greenwich. Shane and Blank, pleasure to have you along with us for this Monday evening affair. Again, back for Ridgefield. on Thursday night at 7 o'clock. We'll get to see some more hockey the weekend after that. We'll have that and the Ludlowe Cheer Invitational. First time cheerleading gets on our airwaves. Definitely very excited for that. And before you know it, it'll be time to play Fairfield Ward, and then time for the FCAC playoffs, which we recently learned will be here for the quarterfinals. The girls' basketball quarterfinals will be at Ludlowe, so Fairfield getting to host their fair share of playoff basketball games. There's Torello, there's Heron. Inlet dish, now back out. Butcher's going to check out. She'll be subbed out by Torello. She'll get a breather on the bench for a little bit. Paulman was flashing down low, but O'Connell didn't like the cut. Single man coverage for the Cardinals. It seemed to work pretty well for them so far. They're going the other way. 2:55 to play. So Greenwich will inbound the ball from underneath their own hoop. Ludlowe continuing to go full court press. And it'll be inbounded by Pavanelli, the sophomore. There's a little bit of a lackluster pass. Here's Torello, wide open, going to the hoop. Very little contact, but enough to draw the foul. She'll shoot.
Greenwich fouls on number 14, Marielle Pavanelli. That's her first. 5 on the team.
Marielle Pavanelli will be the foulee. First shot from Torello good. She is 2 of 3 at the line this evening. Falcons, one of the areas where they really didn't struggle in that last game was from the free throw line. They shot 64%. Their second best game from this season. Torello's got it. So she's 2 of 2, 3 of 4 today at the line. 28-5 is your score. Cardinals having a tough time inbounding it. This ball is loose around center court. Paulman picks it up. Playing scrappy tonight. In a much more defensive effort than she had against Stanford, where she put up 26, almost half the Falcons' points. Here she goes for 3, and she's fouled while shooting it. The question is, will she shoot? And she will. So 3 foul shots for Bridget Paulman at the line. And Sarah Kinsley very content over on the sidelines. Not much noise from her tonight. Paulman shooting her first. Just off. Falcons have missed just 1 free throw tonight. They really haven't done much wrong so far. It's been a textbook kind of game. As they hit 29, she'll shoot 1 more. Try and get them to 30. And she got it. So it is 30-5, Fairfield Ludlowe on top. Not much of a contest through this first half. 2:24 until halftime. Here's the drive down low, lost the ball, and we are staying with the Cardinals. Trish Carey will check into the game for Fairfield Ludlowe. It'll be her second time checking in. Here comes the inbound. Far side. Stamos for 3. Almost a Kristaps Porzingis kind of. She's got the height so she can score underneath, but she's also got the ability to shoot from way outside. 2:12 to play. Trish Carey will pick up her second foul. She'll likely be subbed out here. 7 fouls on Fairfield Ludlowe. And that's good. 7 fouls on Ludlowe, meaning that Greenwich is now shooting every time for the rest of the half. 30-6 is the score. Carey's going to get subbed out. And it is off. 2:10 to play. See if they decide to kind of slow it down now that they're up by 24 points, or if they continue to sprint it all the way into halftime. The sprint has been what's worked so far. Paulman for 2, no good. Cardinals get the rebound. Going on the other end, no foul, but it's going to go out of bounds, so they get a chance to set the defense. 1:50 to play now.
Back into the game for Ludlowe, number 24, Bochy.
And Bochy will check in for Laura Herron. Herron, a bench player that, well, gets the job done. She came in and against Stanford, 3 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, and 2 steals. The exact kind of stat line you'd want to see from somebody coming off your bench. She'll likely be in contention to start next year, depending on where she ends up position-wise. This is Fairfield Ludlowe will pick up their 8th foul. It's a 1-and-1. Moses misses her first, so she will not get another. Here's O'Connell, and they'll go far side for Torello. Torello trying to use some speed to get down low. Falcons kind of playing a 3-forward sort of deal with Bochy and both Paulmans. A 1-3-1 kind of, if you will, with Butcher out on the bench. There's a 3 from Bridget Paulman. We've been waiting for that all evening. And another big shot from the senior captain on the other end. Here come the Cards. They're blocked. Paulman had it. It was poked away from her, and we're going to stay with the Cardinals. 14 fouls in this first half. Not what you would want to see. 8 on Ludlowe, 6 on Greenwich. Cards had a lackluster first quarter, only getting 1 basket and committing about 3 or 4, I believe. Inside. Shot is blocked. They want to go fast break. That's where the speed of Butcher can really come in handy, but a pretty move down low by Paulman. Can't get it. And now O'Connell, the last line of defense, goes up for it, and she'll be charged with the foul. Not much she could do in that situation with 51 seconds to go. And 9 fouls on Ludlowe and 6 on Greenwich. Ludlowe's got to be careful. They're getting a little high with those foul totals. First shot good. It's going to be a problem for them all season long, especially when you have bigs that really like to play and that really like to play the point guard sort of roles, like O'Connell. And across center court they come. Here's Bochy. That was Torello. Her pass intercepted. The passing, which came out pristine, has sort of been downgraded here in the second half, and that's definitely going to be one of only a few talking points. 28.2 to play. It's 33-8. Foul's going to go on Paulman. That's her first. So for someone that has been rather high in the foul totals as of late, she's done a good job keeping herself out of foul trouble tonight. Obviously, we're going to knock on wood after that. 28.2 to play. Stamos, the senior, at the line. Missed. Cardinals are in the double bonus for the next 23 seconds. Here's Paulman. She goes to Bochy. Bochy will reset with Torello at the top. Falcons will end the quarter with Torello, both Paulmans, Bochy, and O'Connell. Here's a baseline drive, and her pass is taken away. More lackluster passing, something that needs to get fixed in the second half. Buzzer beater attempt, no good, and it's 33-8 at halftime. So it was a great start. Maybe not as good of a finish as they would have liked, but certainly plenty to build on as we go to the second half. We'll take a short break. Halftime is right now. We'll take a short break, and the third quarter is coming up next here on FSN.
All right, crew, let's get started. Sure.
Don't ignore the law. You must call 811 at least 2 to 3 days before any digging project so you can avoid hitting our essential buried utilities. For digging projects big or small, make the call to 811.
Are you thinking about buying medicine online? A search for online pharmacies yields more than 20 million results. But which ones can you trust? Medicines bought from unlicensed online pharmacies can be dangerous. You may get a fake drug, your condition may get worse, or you may experience a bad reaction. Don't put your health at risk. To learn how to find an online pharmacy that's safe and legal, visit fda.gov/BeSafeRx. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Making is, in essence, telling a story. Every time I make something, I'm telling a story. When a kid gets their hands on the world and learns that they can make their fantasy play, that they can make their reality, that's power. As far as I'm concerned, everyone should feel that kind of power. So if there's something that interests you, go figure out how to do it. Go tell your own story. There it is. I want to know why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Both my legs were amputated due to an IED. It's when you start to try to get back into like an everyday life. I absolutely felt like I lost some of my purpose. There must be something more. When DAV came into my life, they gave me a new mission. I could still be a productive member of society, could still support a family.
The DAV gave him that sense of structure and purpose again to get his life back together.
Visit DAV.org to learn more about our mission.
We believe in patriotism. We believe in our nation's youth. We believe veterans earn their benefits through their service to our nation. We believe in a strong national security. We believe in our country. For 100 years, veterans have been impacting our nation through the American Legion, and we believe it makes a difference. If you believe, learn more at legion.org/webelieve.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
Question: what will you find on all over-the-counter or OTC medicine packages to help you choose the right drug and use it safely? The answer: the drug facts label. This label lists the medicine's active ingredients and purpose, how much to take, and warnings you should know before using it. Remember, even OTC medicines you buy without a prescription can cause side effects you don't want. So follow the information listed on the drug facts label. For more information, visit fda.gov/drug facts label. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
I was diagnosed at 65.
37. Earlier than most.
Every 9 minutes, someone is diagnosed with Parkinson's disease.
And every one of them can turn to the American Parkinson Disease Association. Visit apdaparkinson.org to learn more and show your support today.
All across the country, people are coming together to speed up what we can learn about health. The All of Us Research Program is calling on 1 million people to join us as we try to change the future of health. For your family, for future generations, for all of us. Visit joinallofus.org and find out how you can become 1 in a million.
Oh, hi. I suppose you're wondering what an A-list celebrity like me is doing in a place like this. You must know, I'm saving the world. Oh, hi, Beth. Yep, saving the world again. Did you know that 40% of all the food produced in the United States is thrown away? That means everything that went into that food, the pesticides, the water, the land, was all for nothing. Just look at this perfectly good food thrown in the trash. The pizza with extra Cheerios, these goldfish and Band-Aid tacos. And just look at this perfect trash burger. This pasta dog looks delicious.
You don't have to dumpster dive like Ed Begley Jr. to save the planet. Fight food waste by shopping smart and using what you buy before it gets trashed.
That's way better. Ooh, arugula.
Do your part and find out other world-saving tips at betterthaned.org.
What would happen if I had to pick up the phone, call 911 for one of my family members or one of my neighbors? What would I do if no one was on the other end to respond? What if there was no 911? So you can be a part of the solution.
Anybody can be a firefighter. Male, female, younger, older.
We have school teachers. We have leaders in business.
Is me, you, anyone that wants to be. There is no typical firefighter.
We farm about 3,500 acres. There's pipelines everywhere. The contractor working on my property did not have the lines located before he began work, and it resulted on a strike on a natural gas pipeline. Fortunately, no one was hurt, but it could have been much worse. Calling 811 or visiting clickbeforeyoudig.com in the U.S. only takes minutes to do, and it can save your life.
Many medicines used to treat colds and flu contain acetaminophen, a pain reliever and fever reducer found in hundreds of over-the-counter and prescription medicines. But taking too much or more than one medication containing acetaminophen per day can damage your liver. So always read the label and don't take acetaminophen if you drink 3 or more alcoholic drinks every day. To learn more, visit fda.gov/OTC pain info. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Food and Drug Administration.
Anyone can fall victim to moving fraud. Know your rights and responsibilities.
There was never really a valid contract.
Movers must always give written estimates.
I was bound to an estimate, but it was after the fact.
Be sure that any document is complete before signing it, and that it includes information to determine the final charges.
It was a version that I had not seen before.
Visit protectyourmove.gov to download a free moving fraud prevention guide. Search for registered movers and view their complaint histories. Move with confidence.
Matthew.
Huh? Oh. I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. And what you say really does matter to me.
All the talks we've had over the years, including what you've told me about not using alcohol and other drugs, they stick with me, and they make a difference, especially at times that matter most.
Hey, want a drink?
No thanks, I'm good. So thank you, Dad, for preparing me for what's ahead.
Thanks, Mom, for always being my biggest fan.
Thank you for talking.
Back inside Fairfield Ludlowe High School alongside Scott Torello. I'm Ada Blank as we continue along here.
Great first half for the Falcons, Aiden. Great passing, a lot of open shots. Open shots equals Points. Greenwich coming out with a little different intensity this half, moving the ball well. Early foul on Ludlowe. This is where if you're Ludlowe, you need a quick spurt. Take him out of this game right away. Let everyone enjoy the last quarter and get ready for Thursday.
And immediately a travel called. That will give it to Paige O'Connell. She'll inbound to Torello. Your leading scores in the first half were Paulman with 11 and Butcher with 10.
Yeah, a lot of good balanced scoring. I bet everyone was in the box score. 33 points in the half, their best half of the season. It's exciting to see them play this well. They're really playing well right now, Aiden.
3 is off. And what we were talking about before we went to break is, while we were in break at halftime, is we would really like to see some of the younger players get in here. Some of the sophomores that are playing their first year on varsity and a couple of the freshmen also. We want to see this younger team and how this team's going to play in the future, because that's really what we've been sold on. Kinsley has sold these girls on the future of their program, which is winning an FCI championship, and we want to see that tonight.
You're right. It's a great opportunity to get them in. The whole fourth quarter should be what I like to call fun time. Get those other girls in, give them a taste of all this. It's a great environment right now for these girls.
Butcher pops open and misses. Other end, it's stolen on the ground. And finally a jump ball is called.
A sloppy start to the second half. To be expected when you have a big lead like this. It's actually harder to play with this kind of lead. You get a little tentative, you get a little too confident, a little too comfortable, Aiden.
It'll be the starting 5 that starts here in the second half. It's Butcher, Torello, the 2 Paulmans, and O'Connell. Stolen away. A little bit of a dish, and down low it's Kristen Riggs. Shot no good, but back up with it, and in goes Taylor Stamos.
Nice rebound. Very aggressive, athletic girl.
So the Cardinals hit double digits. Here's Paulman, and she goes to Torello top. Working far side, Paulman for 3. No, she had 11 in the first half. Rebound for the Cardinals. They're trying to catch up and put some points on the board before this game ends.
Yeah, the Cardinals are playing with a much different level of intensity this half. They clearly were sternly talking to at halftime. Aiden,
and something we talked about, where if you are the Cardinals coach Chris Hernandez, you have to be emphasizing getting the ball past that half court that full court defense, that full court press, because that was the big stopper in that first half. You have to get out of that full court press, because every time they brought it into the half court, they seemed to be successful. As Torello got the 3.
Yeah, you're right. Their press was relentless in the first half, and when you're down big like that and the team continues to press, it's demoralizing, Aiden. It's very difficult.
That was kind of how Fairfield Ludlowe planned to knock him out of the game. They've played terrific defense, A-plus defense in that first half, an FCIAC championship. Here's Butcher, second time tonight. She's all alone, misses, but Torello right there for the putback, and she misses, and the Cardinals going on the other end. And immediately a foul called. This one looks like it's Torello.
Yep,
only one
foul
in that vicinity.
Silly foul, reaching in. Ludlowe had 2 good looks. They got to capitalize on those.
Ludlowe got into foul trouble in that first half a lot, and that's something that really was one of the down points in that first half. That and the fact that their passing kind of got a little lackluster at the end. Other than that, it was a perfect half, but they did really have some problems getting almost up to 10 fouls by the end of that half, something that you really can't do against any other team.
You're exactly right. If you could have one negative on that first half, Aiden, it was that they fouled too much.
O'Connell on the other end. She'll finish 38-10. Ludlowe back to a 28-point lead. 4:48 to play in the third.
That's what they needed. You don't want to give Greenwich any life.
Controlled by Moses, the junior. Any life the Cardinals got from that first basket's been taken right out of them. They've got some points already. Almost had some more on the fast break.
Hey, Greenwich, they're just lacking direction, Aiden. It's not a real crisp team.
Is stolen by Pullman. That's the other Pullman debuter on the near end. 3 from Torello. She's got 1 this half, almost at a second. And those are good looks that everybody seems to be getting from beyond the arc.
You're right. A lot of open looks. Got to take those.
Nice little move underneath. Stamos in her final season as a Cardinal can't get it. Here's Pullman, had a tough time handling it. Backdoor pass underneath for the other Pullman. She's got it. Falcons hit 40 and in their largest lead of the night, a 30-point lead.
Yeah, beautiful bounce pass. Bounce passes leading to layups. That's nice, easy basketball, Aiden.
They go into the corner. And now down low, and the foul called as Martinoff is going to be fouled. She's a very impressive player and someone that really could be the defining face of the next group that comes into this Greenwich girls basketball team. She's a freshman, so and you look at the size of her as a freshman, she will definitely be here in the long run, assuming she stays with the Cardinals.
I agree. This is a great experience for her. Just when you don't want to see a young girl get frustrated, right? Keep improving.
The cross lane pass, the shot from Nelia Mahaya, the sophomore, and a foul underneath. That's the 4th foul on them, and you look, as we said, it was 9 in the first. This is not something that we want to have happen, as Future will check out to a standing ovation here. She had a great first few minutes. The number 14 point guard in Connecticut is rated by Max Preps inside, and it rolls. 40-12 is your score, and on the other end, here's Laura Heron. Again, some of the younger players getting a chance. Ida Bochi checks in, and now a whistle coming. So it was a good start to this half. The exact kind of start you would need after what happened with the passing at the tail end of that first half, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Got back to what they were doing well in the first half, right? Exploiting the center of the zone, bounce passes into the big girls, getting easy shots. That's exactly what they have to keep doing.
So it's 40-12, Fairfield Ludlowe, their largest lead of this season, and this seems to be their best game of the season, in the game you really would expect them to play their best game of the season in.
Yeah, if we assume this is a win, this will be their 5th straight win, getting them to 4-2 in the league, 6-2 overall. You know, when you started the season, Aiden, you looked at the schedule, they have a lot of tough games early on. Starting off at 6-2 overall, 4-2 in the league, this is a great start for Ludlowe.
They are 2 wins shy should they win this game and finish off as we would expect. They would be 2 wins shy of tying their biggest winning streak of last season at 7, which is really their only winning streak, where they just ripped off 7 wins in a row. If you remember, they had a very bad start to the season, losing 6 or 7 in a row, and then they just ripped 7 wins off. It was like a totally brand new team, and that's kind of the team they brought to the table here in 2018, and this is a team that is really going to be contending for a top seed in the FCAC playoffs.
Well, that would be fun to see. I mean, Coach Kins has them playing with tremendous confidence right now, and you could see it in the way the girls are playing. It's exciting to watch.
As we were talking about earlier, she's definitely brought the level of intensity in this program up. It was a program that was kind of like Greenwich's 4 or 6 win team, kind of hovering around there, but they've come back these last few seasons and been contending, and now here come the Cardinals on a fast break as we go back to action. Shot no good. Rebound is Pullman. Fast break's going to be fun. There's Bridget Pullman. We'll see Laura Heron check back in a second. We'll see her come in now. So Heron will check in. Another timeout. Trying to get your players a little bit of a break here. Maybe try to sub in some of the younger talent.
Right, so at this point, Aiden, a couple minutes left in the third. Big game coming up on Thursday against Ridgefield. This is where you try to work on a couple things that you think you'll need to do on Thursday. Thursday is going to be a battle. All right, so right now, use these timeouts, right? Get your team organized. Try something different, something you've been working on in practice. See if they can execute it. Feel confident about it, and then bring it into Thursday's game. That's the whole objective right now.
Again, this essentially becomes practice now for Fairfield Ludlowe, trying to, except it's almost practice with a benefit because you get to try out new things in this game. It's the best kind of practice you're going to get.
Exactly, right? You're always beating up each other in practice. Right now you get to try some things on a different team. This is good.
In the beginning of the in the beginning of the season matchup, we're going to see Fairfield Ludlowe and Ridgefield on Thursday night. Ridgefield at 3-2, 3-4, but again, never a slouch. This is a big win because these two teams are neck and neck for one of those last playoff seeds, and it would be really good to knock them down a ring going into the next week.
Yeah, Ridgefield, they may be 3-4, Aiden, but they've played a very difficult schedule. They will be ready to play on Thursday.
They work it inside. And a foul immediately coming, and it's really going to be a big couple of weeks because after that, you go to the perfect Trumbull Eagles next week, and that's going to be one of the toughest games they will play all season. They'll be at Trumbull on the 14th, followed by Bassick, and then Trinity Catholic. Both those games will be on our airwaves. 3 is airballed underneath, picked up by the Cardinals. Scrum for it underneath, and the jump ball.
Yeah, you mentioned the top teams in the FCIAC right there. Trumbull, Trinity Catholic, throw Norwalk into there. All top 10 teams in the state, Aiden. It's a very tough conference. That's why these are the kind of games you have to win convincingly, so you can try and steal one of those other games later on in the season.
At 7-0, I would do more than throw Norwalk in. I would call them, other than Trumbull, one of the favorites. They've been called, other than really Danbury, who's had a terrific start to the season. People have said that if someone's going to beat Trumbull, it's going to be them, and especially the way they played in playoff settings. People are really excited to see that Norwalk team, who we did get to see, but people are really excited to see them going forward.
Yeah, you could see why, right? They had a lot of good athletes, good size. I think they will battle Trumbull tough. That will be a 50-50 game, no doubt about it.
We're going to have a fun night there, too. When the FCIAC tournament comes to Fairfield Ludlowe, very excited to have the quarterfinals here. It'll be the first time since they were at West Hill where they are all in one gymnasium. 4 games one day, and the weekend right after that, we'll have quarterfinal Saturday for the boys, which may be the only thing better than quarterfinal Saturday for the girls.
I didn't know that. That is exciting.
There's a steal by Pullman trying to stay with it. Torello underneath, one bounce. And she's got it, 42-12. Just like that, you go from a 30-point lead to a 40-point lead. It's been really impressive offensive to start this third quarter.
Absolutely. Just what they needed, Aiden.
And you know that this will not be the last we see of the Cardinals team, a team that may be going through their fair share of struggles right now, but a school that really just does not tolerate losing. It's such a winning culture up in Greenwich, with the football team winning state championships, the hockey team getting to the state championship. We see lacrosse, we see baseball, we see it all from that school. It's a very successful town.
Aiden, you are exactly right. The first half, I was sitting in the stands, and you could feel the angst among the parents. It is wearing on them. You're right. This is a very proud town. They're a very successful town. They're not used to this, and by the way, they're not enjoying it.
The Cardinals coming into this game really struggling. 1-3 in the FCIAC, 3-5 overall. They finished last season at an abysmal 4-12 and 6-14, barely missing out on the state playoffs. So they've certainly had their share of struggles in this program. The boys too, but the girls have really taken the brunt of it, and they're really excited for this next culture. Talking with Chris Hernandez before the game, she said, this is how we're going to try and win games. We want to beat teams like Ludlowe.
Yep, you have to, when you're faced with this kind of adversity, you got to start over, and that's what they're doing right now.
Banks it in as we start to end the quarter. 42-14, almost a football score, and not in a good way.
It is the playoffs right now, Aiden. Who are you rooting for?
Well, my Jets are out of it.
Oh.
I kind of just watch as a fan of football. Yeah, very excited, more excited for the offseason than I am for the coming weekends.
Well, the Jets are building. Darno, good young quarterback. Be interesting to see who their next coach is.
the hope is that they will get the USC offensive coordinator who has more or less resigned. There's a three from the corner, but he is more or less resigned, and rumors are that he'll be in New York soon. 45-14 is your score, and that is the expiration of the third. What an exciting third quarter that was, and if the first half didn't do it, that kind of all but put it away for Fairfield Ludlowe.
Yeah, this, like I said, this is where you work on some things. You want to get yourself organized for Thursday. You take advantage of having Greenwich in your gym, and you get ready for a very tough Ridgefield game on Thursday. It's going to be exciting.
Right, so we will take a short break. We'll rejoin you for the final 8 minutes. Have some fun with it. It's 45-14 Ludlow here on the Falcon Sports Network.
Most of us like to be out in the sun. That's why sunscreen and other safety measures are key to protecting your skin from aging and cancer. The FDA recommends using a sunscreen with an SPF of 15 or higher. Also, look for broad spectrum on the label. That means both harmful ultraviolet A and B rays are blocked. Remember, SPF plus broad spectrum equal healthy fun in the sun. Visit www.fda.gov/sunscreen for more information. A message from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
It blanks Scott Torello just in time to begin this fourth quarter. And the starting five minus O'Connell back in it. She's been replaced by Carey. There's a two, far two. It's actually going to turn into a three from the far corner. Paulman's got it, 48-14.
Beautiful shot. Bridget has been playing outstanding basketball. She has really been a leader of this team, senior, captain. It's really exciting to see Aiden. They are going to go as far as she can carry them. Her and Paige. Paige has been amazing as well. This has been a fun season.
The basket was called off underneath. 6 fouls on Ludlow coming into the quarter. 1 on Greenwich. That actually meant 5 coming into the quarter. 6 after that most recent foul. Kick to the corner. Cardinals trying to spread it out on offense. They seem to be giving it up most when they're all crowded around in one space. Rebound by Paulman. She's got another, and there's the foul underneath going to be called, we would assume, against Kristen Riggs, the freshman. Always good to see the freshmen getting in here. They have a good opportunity to play in these games, and they started a couple of freshmen, too. Much like the team of last season where they started Anna Paulman at one point.
Yep.
And had some valuable minutes from freshmen off the bench.
You know, if you're going to struggle, Aiden, you might as well get the freshman in the game. Might get him the experience. You talk to Coach beforehand. She's trying to build for the future. Send a message that if you're capable, you're going to get in there, you're going to get some experience.
Butcher on the near side, almost lost it. Nice bounce pass. Back out to Bocci. She's got a three as she shot. That's the second time tonight that we've had a foul as a Falcon has shot a three. First it was Paulman. She made all three. And now it's Bocci. We'll see what she can do. Falcons have done remarkably well compared to their 64% free throw percentage from last game. They've done remarkably well tonight, missing just 1 or 2 at the line. Bocci will miss her first, and just barely. That thing was up there for a while.
That was called the commentator's jinx, Aiden. You're going to learn that as you get older.
Second one, remarkably similar to the first one, just this time it rolls in. 49-14. Again, a football score here at Fairfield Ludlow, and fitting, we have the national championship game tonight.
Yeah, Clemson versus Alabama. I expect to see that same matchup next year. 2 young quarterbacks, both back. Those teams are just so good.
Well, you've got to see who gets drafted as well. You're going to have a totally different game depending on who gets drafted. Foul underneath. And we'll turn it around. Falcons back into that full court press. Something that has really taken the Greenwich out of this basketball game. Near side, they'll bring it. Beatrice Owens getting one of her first touches of the evening. Swing to the corner, Martinoff. Lost. Paulman tried to get it, but she can't. Swing it inside, and the foul is called.
And we see the first freshman getting off the bench, Aiden. Campbell Eckert getting her first minutes of the season. This is exciting for her.
You would think that this is in the order that Kinsley thinks of them. For example, Eckert could be a big bench player next season, and you would think that most freshmen end up as sophomores next season will be. And this is a big moment for her. We'll see how she performs. Even though this game may not be the most pressurized game, it certainly will be for her. She wants to perform well and impress Kinsley right now.
You're exactly right. These are her first varsity minutes. The scores are relevant to her, right? She's nervous. She wants to kind of get herself into the game, get a sweat going, try to maybe get an easy basket. It's exciting. There's nothing like being a freshman, Aiden, joining a team, being a part of something. It's fun.
It'll be a turnover. Not sure what it was on. Looked like one of the Greenwich, whoever was guarding the inbounder, may have stepped over the boundaries. And instead, Heron will inbound to Butcher. So a good mix of sophomores and upperclassmen, starters and non-starters. A very diverse team out there right now. One that you may see next year on the court.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know, this is, again, just like Greenwich is building for the future, we're always building for the future as well.
In goes Trish Carey, fighting for it. And the foul will send us back the other way. That is going to be number 7 on the Falcons. So that'll be their 7th. That's the second time as we see another standing ovation for Butcher. That's the second consecutive half where we see them break 7 and get into that 1-on-1. Very dangerous, even with 6:07 to play.
I agree with you, and that's a trend that they want to reverse, especially when you start playing these better teams like you just mentioned. Can't give them these free, cheap, easy points.
It's 49-15. But again, score is essentially blanked out at this point. Or reset to 0, see if you want to win those final minutes for those more competitive than you and I.
That's exactly right. The score is irrelevant at this point, right? You still want to play good basketball. You still want to be confident going into the next game. You still want to look crisp, right? You never want to lose that momentum. It's very dangerous in sports.
This is Bochy's turn to run the point.
Yep, nice play, nice dribbling, good
Butcher
pass.
Taking that secondary guard role inside. And rebounded by the Cardinals. 5:38 to play. Greenwich 49 and Ludlowe 16. Eckert directing traffic out there. Very big leadership skills from her. Bridget Reynolds also checking into this game. Another one of those players that may not get a ton of varsity playing time, but will certainly eat up a bunch of minutes next season.
Absolutely. Another sophomore, right? So another girl who has a bright future. Nice jump shot. Likes the game. I think it's exciting if you're Coach Kins, right? You have a nice mixture of 2 senior captains with a lot of youth. A lot of youth coming in next year as well that wants to play the game.
Underneath, that is a foul. With 5:15 to play, the Cardinals really down at this point, but they've gotten some good free throw baskets tonight. They've shot very well from the free throw line.
Yep. That's the one bright spot, I guess you'd say, Aiden.
5:15 to play, and she misses her first. 9 fouls on Ludlowe. They don't want to commit another. That becomes 2 and 2. She will miss completely, so Bridget Reynolds will inbound. Her first touch of the night.
You see how these games like this just become demoralizing to kids. You know, Greenwich, these are good athletes, Aiden. Proud town. When you're in a game like this, it's frustrating.
Bochy Missed.
Yeah, she has a beautiful shot.
She does, and we've seen her. We've been talking about it in both the Norwalk and Wilton games, the 2 games that we were on air for, how she's really shot the ball well. And even when it doesn't go in, it still comes pretty close. 2 from Heron, no. She's gotten a decent amount of bench playing, too.
Yeah, she's going to play a big role for them down the stretch.
In their game against Stanford, she had 3 points and then 2 rebounds, assists, and steals. So,
yep, she's very active, great athlete.
She's a gorgeous line for someone coming off the bench as well.
She's very long. She is a nightmare when she's guarding you.
It's going to be interesting to see who they put at the center position without O'Connell. They seem to be playing without one, honestly, because they don't really, until they get the girls that are coming up next year as freshmen that are ridiculously tall from what I've heard, they're going to be playing without a center, without somebody that is that much bigger than everybody. Oh, it looks like Carey's going to take the 5. There's Campbell Eckert's first varsity points.
Yeah, you see that smile, Aiden? That's what it's all about right there. Great shot.
So Eckert with her first varsity points. It's 51-16. And underneath, she'll get the rebound. She's got a couple of points, a rebound. She's had a night so far, and a real good one for a freshman, and I'm sure she's going to have a nice celebration later. There's a 2. No. But the rebound is pulled by Greenwich. They've almost evened out this rebounding battle, which is good for them.
Yeah, Greenwich has rebounded well. All right, again, something that Ludlowe has struggled with all season. As you just said, we don't have great height. Boxing out, everyone being responsible for the man they're guarding. It's going to be critical going down the stretch.
Shot missed. And you love games like this from the Falcons' point of view because, again, like you said, everyone is going to get in the box score, not just those that start or those that are coming off the bench. It's going to be everybody, all kinds of names in that box, even those that you wouldn't normally think.
Right. Hey, listen, all these girls have been working hard all season. So when you can get them into these kind of games, it's fun for them. Fun for everyone.
51-17. 10 fouls on Ludlowe, 4 on the Cardinals. Cardinals are shooting 2 every Ludlowe foul at this point. So they want to keep that to a minimum, 3.5 to play.
You see how Coach Ken's still coaching, right? She's also not worried about the score. She knows that these are important minutes.
Missed what was either a long 2 or a long 3, or a very short 3, and a foul underneath. But it's going to be on the Cardinals, so that's their 5th. And they're going to watch out, too. They do not want any extra points coming Ludlowe's way in the terms of free throws. Not really in danger of doing that, but still something to keep in the back of your mind. Inside.
Beautiful passing,
pass.
Aiden.
Eckert able to shovel it out of there. There's Bochish. Can she get a 3? Yes, she can. 54-17. That's the kind of shot that you and I were witnessing a lot last year, and the bench goes crazy for it.
Yeah, she's a fan favorite. They love her effort. Great kid, big personality. You love being around people like that, Aiden.
Foul was on Laura Heron. And to the line comes Catherine Logren. Lawford. She'll hit her first. 54-18. She missed. So 51-18, the 3-minute mark comes. Although going for the clean sweep, something they don't do that often.
Did the boys win earlier?
The boys did win. We're not sure about the freshman or JV boys, but they can at least get the majority of the games. They're going for a clean sweep on the girls' side. The boys went right down to the wire up at the Brunswick school because Greenwich did have an issue with their main gym, with their brand new main gym was
that's
flooded.
I tell you,
so they were playing away from home, but the boys did win.
Every game the boys have played has been close, so it's nice to see them pull one of those out at the end. They've played, I think, 4 games, Aiden. They've lost 3 of them by 3 or less points.
So it would be McMahon, and they've certainly lost by very few points.
They lost to Bassick by less than 3. McMahon might have been the only
and
game.
Stanford, I believe. Yeah,
Stanford was the last second shot.
And Ward.
They lost.
And Ward
yes,
in the championship
exactly.
of that Prep Holiday Classic.
Right.
Working inside is Carey. Foul's going to get called on Greenwich, so now they really need to worry because they're at 6 now, so neither team staying out of foul trouble. There's Lauren Iannazzo. She'll check in. Those are her first varsity minutes as well, so some first coming in, as is Sophia Lemley, the sophomore. So 2 sophomores and a freshman getting featured in their first varsity games. 3 sophomores, forgetting about Bridget Reynolds.
Yeah, nice move by Lauren. She's a lefty, so that's people are not used to playing against lefties. It's a big advantage when she comes in the game. People have to adjust to her. She has a good knack of scoring.
Iannazzo misses it.
I think our own fans gave her the schmutz there. I think it was Mr. Steve.
Well, it was a chance for her first varsity point. She'll get one right now. Got it. So her first varsity points, second Falcon to get them here tonight. 55-18, 2:10 to play, still plenty of time. Steps inside, but they weren't called. The rebound, there's a shot. Also no good off the side of the rim, but a nice rebound pulled down, but it's going to be a travel called against the Cardinals.
Yeah, they just lack skill, Greenwich. They seem to lack confidence. It's really surprising to see them looking like this.
Here's Lemley. Give and go with Eckert. Stolen away. Here come the Cardinals. Whole bunch of red jerseys down there. Want to stop the numbers. And they will, but in the wrong way with a foul, which will give the Cardinals 2 shots.
How did the girls' JV team do you know?
They did win, did get a chance to see that. That's one of the good things about having to get here that much earlier to set up the video broadcast this year. We do get there for a good portion of the JV game, and they did play extremely well. It was a really good game on all ends, and the girls definitely came away with lots of smiles.
I'm sorry I was late tonight, Aiden. I had a whole practice for my team, so bad timing.
Well, those tend to be more important.
How was vacation? Good?
It was very good. Went to California, took some time off.
Good for you.
Didn't go totally dark. Did see that the girls won the holiday tournament.
Yeah,
and the boys went to the final in theirs.
I tried to make sure the girls were sending you updates. But I'm glad you enjoyed the time with your family. That's important.
Got to see some basketball, too. Went to the Santa Monica Pier and down into Venice Beach. It was gorgeous. And they do have some famous basketball courts down there. Some of the best players in the world have come out of there.
Sure.
55-20, a minute 20 to play. Cardinals just trying to finish this thing on a high note, as are the Falcons. Controlling it near side. And the timeout is called. 55-20, a minute 12 to play. And for the Cardinals, how do you want to finish this thing out?
Well, for both teams, right, Aiden? It's about trying to work on a couple things, get yourself ready for next game. Listen, you could question, hey, minute 12 left. Why did Coach Kings take a timeout? One of our girls was in trouble. You want to build confidence, take a timeout, get them set up, let them try to get some success here. So set something up, set up a play. Don't worry about the score.
Second horn blowing, and she looks like she is trying to set up a play. Maybe try and get some of the girls some big points here.
Exactly. Right, you care about everyone on your team, right? So this even though there's a minute 12 left, up by 30, you still act like it's one of the most important possessions.
Reynolds will inbound and get it right back from Lemley. She shoots a 3. She's got another gorgeous shot, very much like Bochy. Goes to the ground on the defensive play or attempt. There's Eckert. Looking for more, can't get it. Was a little flat coming off, but a good shot nonetheless. Here come the Cardinals.
She was open.
Fast break.
It's a good shot.
The home run pass can't go. That was Sierra Manelli, the junior. At top, here's Lemley. Down to 35 seconds. She shoots, looking for her varsity points. There's Ianazo. She's already got some. Looking for a basket, though. Other end, 2-on-1, and if foul's going to get called, it's either on Eckert or Harem. We're going to find out in a second. It is going to be on Eckert, so with 24.5 to go.
That was a nice move by Sophie. Made a fake, couple dribbles into the lane, nice pull-up jumper. She also has a lot of upside, Aiden. Another talented sophomore.
They hit 21, so the Cardinals, again, as we were talking about in the first half, at halftime, they've kind of stayed on pace. 55 points is about how much you would see scored in a game like this. In just any game, even if they weren't playing Greenwich, in a game like against a Norwalk or a Wilton. So it's not that they have played terrible defense. They just haven't been able to score because the Falcons' defense has been so intense, and that's part of the game plan that Sarah Kinsley brought into this game on how to knock them right out and knock them out fast.
Right, Ludlow's pressure is relentless. So they put it on right from the start. I know they got off to a slow start, but as soon as they scored a few baskets, as soon as they get into that pressure D, you can see how that helps them build confidence. You see how the girls rally around that pressure.
55-22. It's on the floor with 15 to go. Now down to 13-9. We're going to stay with the Cardinals. Looks like they did call it a jump ball. From underneath, it'll be inbounded by Moses. The question is who gets the last shot. They'll throw it up. It's no good. Here come the Falcons. Will Lemley get her first varsity points? Down to 5 seconds. She can't. Looking for the rebound, and that is how this is going to end. 55-22 is your final. Fairfield Ludlowe will take it, and a big win for the Falcons.
Absolutely. Every win's a big win, Aiden. You take this, you roll them over to Thursday, you try and steal one against Ridgefield. I'm excited for that game.
So 55-20 is your final. We will sign off for now. And parting thoughts, Coach.
Parting thoughts are you love games like this, Aiden. These are fun to play in. No stress, right? All the hard work that you've put in, you take advantage of in these kind of games. It's fun to play in this environment, but what'll be more fun is Thursday. The crowd will be into it. Ridgefield will be into it.
It most certainly is, and we'll be looking for the nest. So we will see you on Thursday. For Coach Scott Torello, our cameraman Griffin Forberg, and anybody else we're forgetting to mention. It's late. You can go home. You have some food. But, again, for Coach Scott Torello and our camera guy Griffin Forberg, we thank you for tuning in. It's 55-22. That's your final. And we will see you on Thursday for Ludlowe and Ridgefield. Have a great night, everybody.